you to rescind your decision. The city of Vancouver, whose police and firefighters are going to have to respond if there is a problem, but cannot respond because they have no authority for the seas and the water surrounding here, so they cannot go out onto the water and save anyone or help anyone. I mean, this is kind of sad. So no one was consulted. The consultation was done with the Department of Defense in Ottawa, and that message was passed on, and when we heard it, that was the first time the Coast Guard heard it. Now, everyone has said this is a mistake. Everyone, including the traffic controllers, maritime traffic in the port. We've heard people from the city protesting. We've heard the firefighters, the police, first responders, all experts in marine traffic. Everyone has said this is a bad decision. It's going to take a half an hour longer to get from Richmond out here. And it's not only Vancouver. We're looking at going further north along that greater arm in which people are being rescued. Everyone has said it's a bad decision. So I have invited today other political parties in the House. I'd invited the NDP, and I will let Finn Donnelly speak in a minute because Finn is an NDP Member of Parliament. But the Conservatives, I've also invited them. I said, you know what? This is not about politics. This is about safety. This is about the lives of people. This is about Vancouverites. I have over 700 petitions signed. Joyce Murray has over 300. We have 1,000 down on the beach, down in Coal Harbour. We have petitions coming in now that's going to be in the thousands, asking this government to please listen. And it was really, really not only disappointing, and as I say, I don't want to be bashing anyone today. It's not what this is about. It's about saving lives and listening to the people of Vancouver. But when last night the Minister, James Moore, actually said he wasn't going to change his mind, adamantly, in spite of everyone's advice, no one has said this is a good idea except the Department of Defense in Ottawa. I think this government is not listening, and we do not want to see lives lost before this government says, oops. And so we're hoping that you will begin your own letter writing campaign, your own petition signing, get your friends, make sure that this government hears from thousands of British Columbians and Vancouverites who are saying to them, you are, even though this is the NDP ridings and the Liberal ridings are not government ridings, this is not about government. This is about people, and this is about the reality and the safety of people. So let's put aside partisanship. Governments can say, oops, we made a bad decision, we're sorry, we're going to reverse it now. But I want to tell you that this is a government with ministers who most Ontarians will tell you were there when Walkerton occurred. And tragedy seems to have to happen before this crew decides to pay attention. And so I want to thank you for coming, and I'm going to turn this over to Finn right now.
Well, thank you very much, Hetty, and thank you for hosting this rally and inviting all of you to come out. As you know, my name is Finn Donnelly. I'm the New Democrat Fisheries and Oceans critic for the West Coast. And so I've been standing up for the official opposition in the House and demanding answers from Keith Ashfield, the Minister of Fisheries and Oceans, who's responsible for the Coast Guard. And the stonewalling that we've been getting started right back from the first announcement back middle of this year. And right away we held an emergency town hall meeting. I invited Jack Harris, who's the defense critic, to come out. We were at Jericho Sailing Center, and we had hundreds of people come out from all political stripes to say they came together with different perspectives, but a common voice, that it is a dumb decision to close the Kitsilano Coast Guard Station. It serves over 300, on average, 300 emergencies per year that answers to distress calls, and does that within minutes. It's strategically located right here in the port, one of the busiest ports in Canada, and it's strategically
the
busiest port in Canada, and it is strategically located to respond to emergencies. Now, if we take this this strategically located station out of the picture, we're now going to have to rely on Sea Island and the hovercraft, which is over 19 nautical miles away. It has to operate under good conditions, i.e. the wind can't be too high, it can't be on another call up island or out in the Fraser River to the airport where it's stationed. So when we're talking about lives and fast response, this station plays a critical role. This station, which operates on a very small amount of money per year, needs to stay open. And the Coast Guard has been working over the last decade to make sure their operations are extremely efficient. So we should be thanking our Coast Guard workers for our labor, have been working with management to ensure that there are fast and efficient operations and a lean operation. So what this government is doing now does not make sense. They are consolidating offices, whether it's the Coast Guard stations or the MCTS, the Marine Communication and Traffic Service Centers across this country. They're consolidating them down to the point where it is now going to be putting lives at risk. And what we're saying is that is going to cost lives. Not only are politicians like Hetty and myself and others speaking out and saying that this is going to cost lives, but the Coast Guard themselves have come out. There's an internal report that has now been made public that says there's going to be an increase in response times and lives will be put at risk as a result. That's unacceptable. We need this government to change. They need to listen to people gathered here, to other rallies that have happened, to a strong message that is gaining in British Columbia. We just had the UBCM, or the Union of British Columbia Municipalities, pass a resolution on the floor calling on the federal government to reverse its decision to make these cuts. And they added specifically the Kitsilano Coast Guard Station. This makes no sense. So we call on the Minister, Keith Ashfield, to reverse his mistake in announcing that this station will be closed next April.